Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Queen Juliana, your dark masked diva. So, you're probably wondering, why does she look like a goat? It's because I want to remind everybody that we are in Capricorn season. First of all, I would like to tell everybody I hope they had a very happy holiday season. You might notice that I have my little Grinches in the background over there. One of them's wearing my solstice reindeer horns over there with the little flowers that I was wearing the other day in my other content. I got my little baby Grinch right there. I've had that bigger Grinch for about over 20 years. And I've had that baby Grinch for like a couple years. Atalon gave me that baby Grinch. So he was looking around the house for it. We were looking all over the place for it. And he finally found it the other day when he was looking for his Santa hat. So anyway, he found the baby Grinch for me. So I was like, yay. And I put it in the seat over there so we could have the Grinches sitting together. So you see my little Grinches there in the background. The Grinch was my all-time favorite story when I was a child. I just love the Grinch so much. You could probably tell what kind of kid I was. Just love the Grinch. I was just like, yeah, of course he's in a bad mood, man. You know, everyone's just kind of treating him like a freak and making him feel ostracized, and just I just kind of like, since I was a child, I always just liked stuff that was dark. I mean, I'm the dark masked diva, of course, right? So I always loved the Grinch. Still love the Grinch as an adult. Glad people are still, still celebrating the Grinch. Always loved him. Always will. Love the Grinch, you guys. So I want to talk about Capricorn season. Okay, so this is what we're going on with Capricorn season. Okay, so Capricorns. Hardworking, all right? It's an earth sign. Okay, we're in Capricorn season. People having their birthdays right now. Very money oriented, okay? Very goal oriented. So now that we're in Capricorn season, what you want to do right now is you're going to want to start thinking about your New Year's resolutions, okay? Otherworldlies, you're going to want to start getting yourself organized. You're going to want to start thinking about meeting your goals, okay? And you're going to want to start thinking about things you've done in the past, okay? You're going to want to start thinking about things that did not work for you in the past, okay? So whatever did not work for you in the past, you're going to want to think about changing things up, okay? Because you can't keep doing the same old things and expecting new results. Am I right? Okay, because that's like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing and expecting a different result. I'm sure you've heard that like a million times, have you not? So, I'm going to say it too, because it's true. So what you want to do is you want to switch up your old routine, and you're going to want to have a whole new routine, okay? And people like to get on each other and go, oh, New Year's resolutions don't work. Okay, well, those are people that just don't want it badly enough. All right, those are people who are not making realistic goals, realistic plans. They're not writing things down. They're not, they're not making manifestation boards. They're not doing whatever they need to do to make changes. They're not figuring out what works for them, and they're not staying consistent. They're not dedicated to whatever they want, and they simply don't want something bad enough. People mess up because they don't want something bad enough. Okay, they're letting themselves get distracted. Okay, it's here's the thing. Sometimes we want too many things in life. Okay, so we are not focused on a particular goal or a particular set of goals because we want too many things, right? So we're letting ourselves become distracted by this over here, by that over there. Okay, so what we need to do is go, what do we really want? What's the thing that we actually really do want? And concentrate on that. Like me, what did I want? My sobriety. Right? What did I want? My weight loss. What did I want? My relationship. So I became centrally focused on those particular things. And I didn't let anything get in my way. So, what do I have now? I have all those things now, right? And I knew I would have to sacrifice all these other things, and I was willing to let all these other things go just to get what I wanted. So now I have these things. Okay, well, now I want this whole new set of things, so I know I'm going to have to sacrifice certain other things to get to these new things that I want. Okay, so what do I want now? Okay, well, I want to my new resolution is to conquer my anxiety. Okay, so I've been talking about that a lot lately on my show. All right, I want to conquer my anxiety. So let's talk about something I did today. All right, so you guys have been, if you've been watching my last few episodes, I've been talking about feeling anxious. I leave the house, I think I'm going to run into that old friend. Okay, there's that creepy guy in my building. I'm worried about running into him. I'm worried about he's going to be standing by my unit. I'm worried about things like that. And you're like, well, that's a legitimate worry because he did something to make you uncomfortable. So yeah, that is a worry. So I'm thinking, well, I need to use my problem solving skills. Okay, so what do I need to do? Here's what I need to do. I need to take action. Okay, what's the number one thing I can do to overcome anxiety? Okay, I need to meet the situation head on. Okay, here's something that kicks anxiety right in the face. Okay, what you can do to avoid anxiety. The number one thing you could do to avoid anxiety. All right, and this is something that I've put into practice. So I'm giving you advice that somebody gave me. This is something that I've put into practice, and every time I put it into practice, I found that it works. You do not procrastinate. All right, so when you do not procrastinate, something might happen that you don't like. Okay, something might happen that you don't like, and things may not completely go your way. You may not achieve every objective that you want. Things may not, people may not 100% agree with you, but you did not put it off. Because when you put things off, anxiety builds. I know this for a fact, okay, because I have faced things head on before, and I've also procrastinated before. So I've tried the two different paths. So I've scientifically done the two different things to find out for myself how this works. And I know for a fact that when you face it head on, that's the way to go. So what I did today was I decided to go talk to the manager, and there are two managers. I've already talked to the one. Okay, these two managers are like good cop and bad cop. Okay, there's the soft manager and there's the hard manager. Okay, so, and they're both cool guys in their own way. All right, so first of all, I called. I couldn't get through, and I realized I was calling the wrong number. I couldn't find the one manager's card, and I'm like, F this. I got ready. I went down there. They weren't in their offices, and I was like, oh no, they went home early or whatever. So I was pretty upset. And then I almost wanted to give up. And then lo and behold, I ran into the manager that I wanted to talk to. All right. And it was just kind of like a lucky fluke. He came down at the last minute to get something out of his office, and I ran into him, and I go, you're just the man I want to see. All right. And I felt, and at first, I had anxiety because I really wanted to call and get some kind of appointment with him to have an audience with him. Right. And because he's really easy to offend. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So, I thought, well, I really just need to talk to him. I need to quit, getting all these fears in my mind that I'm going to piss this guy off or whatever. I really just need to put my best foot forward and have all my manners and all this kind of stuff. Just be as charming as I possibly can be, I was raised right. I have good manners. So I'm going to have good manners with this guy. So I'm talking to him, and I go, hey, if I could just have a few minutes of your time, I promise not to take up a whole lot. I go, I know it's getting late, and I want to make sure you can just get home and, whatever, I want to take up too much of your time. And he goes, oh, no, I have a few minutes for you. Come on in, like he was really, cordial and stuff like that. So I go, there's this guy that works here, and I described him, and he goes, yeah, that sounds like a guy that works here. And I go, look, I didn't know what was going on, but he made me really uncomfortable. Excuse me. He was waiting by my unit. He was doing X, Y, and Z. For those of you who didn't see my other video, there was a maintenance man. He was standing by my unit. I had never seen him before. He was standing by my unit. He was staring at me as I walked down the long hall. He was just staring at me without turning away or looking away. He was just staring at me the whole entire time, making me uncomfortable because he wouldn't look away. And he was waiting for me by my unit. And I felt like he was just kind of trapping me by my house. And then he was making comments about my hair. Now, I really don't mind when people say things about my looks, because obviously I have, an eccentric look. I'm an entertainer. People who do a lot with their looks expect people to say things about their looks. Okay, that kind of goes with the territory. If people weren't saying things about my looks, I'd be a little surprised, to be honest, so. But it's usually little kids that come up and say, your hair looks like fire, and stuff like that, cute things like that. Or people telling me, I look like a certain singer or something like that. That's the kind of stuff I expect. But this guy was waiting for me by my house. I'd never seen him before. And he was just staring at me the whole time. And that was the kind of thing that, because I had never seen him before and he was staring at me, it seemed really stalkerish. And it was creepy. And so I said, hey, it seemed really socially inappropriate what he was doing, and the fact that he works here. And it was really unprofessional. And just the fact that he was staring, and I said, so I go, maybe he's a little socially awkward or something. He didn't, and I said, maybe he's seen me before, but the thing is I'm really a homebody. All I really do is make videos inside the house, and I don't really leave the house unless I need to, that kind of thing. And I don't remember seeing him before. I don't know if he's seen me before, but for some reason he knows where I live, and I don't remember ever speaking to him before, to be honest. And so that whole thing was just, a little disconcerting to me, and everything like that. And I said, and just the fact that he was staring at me. And when people stare at you for a prolonged period of time, that's something that is going to make, it's like a social faux pas. It's going to make somebody very uncomfortable, And so I explained the whole thing, and I said, all I'm really asking for is that you sort of take him aside and say, hey, look, you made that resident a little uncomfortable, and can you not do that to that lady again? And so he goes, I just want you to know that guy, we did a full background check on that guy. There's nothing weird about that guy. He was just being a little too enthusiastic that day. He just really wanted to talk to you. He's really fascinated by you. He was doing something that was inappropriate, but he just really wanted to talk to you really bad, and he shouldn't have done that. He should have just talked to you in the lobby or something like that. He shouldn't have been waiting by your house, and we will talk to him about that. So, but he goes, I want you to know he's not weird. We did a full background check on him. He's harmless. He just did something very thoughtless, So I said, okay, so he wasn't, he hasn't done anything weird before. And he goes, no. And he goes, I don't mean this in a bad way or in a negative way or anything like that, but come on, you can't blame him for staring at you, And I said, well, I get it. People stare at me all the time. I mean, that's, they're supposed to, the way I dress is really, flashy. So yeah, I expect people to stare at me, but just the fact that he was standing by my house and doing it. People stare at me outside all the time, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, but he was standing by my house and staring at me. I'm like, oh, and he goes, yeah, I'll talk to him about it and explain that, that was a little, inappropriate. So I felt like the manager was trying to downplay it a little bit so I wouldn't, you know, call housing or anything like that. But yeah, he told me that the guy isn't weird, that he's just a little bit, he just really wanted to talk to me. And I said, honestly, if I would have just been sitting in the lobby and he just would have been walking by and went, oh, well, you have really cool hair, I would have been like, oh, thanks, dude. And I would have been fine with it. But he's just standing outside my house, acting like that. That was creepy. So that's what was going on. And I felt like the manager was trying to minimize a little bit to kind of you know to kind of discourage me from taking it any further. I wasn't going to take it any further. I ran into the guy again, and he wasn't being creepy because I got into the elevator and he was in the elevator, and he got really flustered. And he's like, hi, but not like creepy hi, just kind of like a guy who has a schoolboy crush hi. And he was just like, what floor are you going to? And I said, the ground floor. And he goes, I just want you to know I love your style and your hair and your coat and like everything you wear all the time. And I'm like, he's seen me before. This is okay. Okay, so he's seen me before, and it wasn't just that one day and all this other stuff. And so I don't know what's going on here, but he must have been admiring me for a long time or something. I don't know. But he maybe even watches the show. I have no idea. But anyway, he goes, I like this kind of stuff too, and I like all the stuff you wear. And he was just going on, and he was just getting flustered, just kind of like stammering over his words, and he didn't seem like scary. He just seemed like when you go to school with somebody and they have a crush on you and they like they don't know what to say to you. I'm not saying he wasn't being creepy that day, but he was just like when you meet someone and you want their autograph or something, that's kind of the way he was acting. And I was like, thanks, and he was being really more like deferential. He wasn't being as stalkerish, like, for lack of a better word, so I was like, yeah, I'm like, he goes, have a Merry Christmas, and after that I was like, okay, I guess I'm not afraid of him anymore. But as long as that manager has a word like, don't hang around by her apartment again, and as long as the manager goes, hey, she has a man, right? Like, don't be trying to ask her out, like, as long as, like, he tells him, like, not to try to ask me out or anything like that. So I felt like the manager was just trying to minimize it and that kind of stuff. But as long as I put in my request, hey, just tell the dude to like back off a little bit. But the guy wasn't acting stalkerish. He was just acting like a guy with a crush. So after that, I'm not afraid of him anymore. And he wasn't acting stalkerish anymore. And I came home and told Etalon that he wasn't acting stalkerish anymore. And Etalon goes, yeah, because I bet before you even talked to the manager about it, I bet the one manager talked to the other manager about it, and he already talked to him about it before you even got down there. I bet he already had a word with him. That's why he's That's why he's not acting creepy towards you anymore. He still has a crush on you. He's just not being creepy anymore because he already had a word with him about it. So I kind of like, I think Etalon's probably right. But Etalon's pretty smart. But, yeah. Because what he did was pretty disrespectful to my relationship. But, yeah. But the whole point is, we are in a very organizational type of time, this Capricorn period. So what you want to do is you want to think about getting organized and thinking about what works when it comes to overcoming your fears, if that is your New Year's resolution. Because I figured out, do not procrastinate, because procrastinating makes you a loser. I probably could have put that in some better kind of way, in some more profound kind of way, but basically, the more you procrastinate, the more anxiety you get, and you're not getting things done. So, if you want to not be a loser, don't procrastinate. Okay, so that's kind of my takeaway for Capricorn season, and I hope I didn't draw the story out too much, and I hope you enjoy this content. And I love you all, and I will see you next time. Thank you so much for your time. Bye-bye.